Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video. I almost can't believe that it is already September. Like, where did August go? I'm not mad about it, but I also am like, wow, the end of the year is fast approaching. And when we think about things like Project Pan, which is what my video is today, there's really not that much time left in the rest of the year to kind of reach some of the goals that I set for myself. So I'm really hoping that my project continues to go well. And so today I'm going to do an update on the 5 products that I have been using. If you're new here, please subscribe so you're updated of all of my upcoming videos and can follow along on my Project Pan for this year. And if you don't know already, I choose 5 makeup items to be working on at a time, and I'm trying to completely use up each of those items. Once I use something up, I roll it out and then I choose something else to roll in, and they do not have to be the same types of products. So if I use up a lipstick, I don't have to roll in another lipstick. I can roll in whatever I feel like working on. If you want to see my list of items that I am planning to pan this year, then I will link that video below, so go check it out. And I did a recent update on that list to kind of give myself a check-in on where I was standing with that list that I made at the beginning of 2024. So without further ado, let's get into this month's exciting update. So first is my primer, and this is so close to the end. I know it probably doesn't look like it in the bottle. I think the product kind of clings to the sides, but I think there's really not that much in there because when I use the pump now, it kind of does the like spurting out. I don't know if you can tell. There's definitely still product in there, but I think I'm almost at the point where I need to dig in there with the spatula and kind of scrape some out because the pump is not really, like I have to do like 3 or 4 pumps to kind of get it to spurt out what I need, if that makes sense. So I am really hopeful that this will be gone by next month's update. That would be exciting. I very rarely use up full primers, so that would be great. And as I always say, I do really like this primer. It's the Essence Hello Good Stuff Glow Serum Primer with the little watermelon. So it's supposed to be a dupe for the Glow Recipe. I've never owned the Glow Recipe quite, so I can't speak to it being a dupe, but from what I can tell, I don't really care because I would rather spend $5 on this than like whatever the Glow Recipe one costs. I think they also have a blue one now in this, so I might try that one next. But anyway, the progress we're making is great, and I really think there's only a month left on this. Let me know in the comments what you think. My next product is my powder bronzer from NARS in the Laguna shade, and I just have a mini one that came as like a Sephora or Ulta birthday gift one year, I think. And this one's going to look quite different from last month. So this little section is gone, and I just think it's the way this was pressed into the pan in the first place. You can see there's still like a ridge of product up here. So kind of what happened was, as I was kind of swirling my brush and working on it, I think this pan is so small that a little corner piece kind of broke off. And then I was like, okay, I kind of smushed it back in, was using it for a couple more days, and then more just kind of started crumbling off. So I very carefully took those pieces, I put them in a little jar and like really crushed them up into a fine powder. And then I just used that. Like that lasted me for like 2 weeks. I actually just used up the little crushed up part like yesterday, and so this is what we are left with. So even though I made a lot of progress on the pan, it wasn't quite in the way that I had hoped it was happening, but I didn't let any product go to waste. So this is what we're looking like on this, and I definitely can tell that I also have really flattened out the product. Like you can see a lot of the edge on the side of the pan now. So I am pretty happy with that, and I do think this will probably still take me the rest of the year to use up, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't break off too much anymore, but once it does, if it does that 1 or 2 more times, I'll probably just try to repress it. But yeah, that is the progress on the bronzer. It's going well, and I do like this bronzer. At first I was worried it was going to be too dark once we got past summer, but I actually think that it is okay, and I can use a slightly lighter hand with it. Next, let's take a look at my ABH brow powder. As I always say, this is just going to be here till the end of the year, I'm sure. we're making progress as always. I feel like I definitely kind of expanded the center pan, and then I've kind of been working my brush mostly in this weird curve. I don't even know how this ended up being in this shape. Like, I don't know. But I've been trying to kind of work around this little curve section, so like disconnected the circle and kind of just making this little bit smaller and smaller. I never use a ton of powder when I'm doing my brows. I really just fill in like this front portion and that's about it. So a little goes a long way. And as I always say, I think this just shows that this is something that's worth the money. I think this costs between $25 and $30, which may seem like a lot, but I have had this for years and I've been working on this since the beginning of 2024 and it is still going strong. So we will just keep chugging along on this product. It's just that type of product. I'm not angry about it. I don't dislike using it. So I think this has just been a really good experiment and project to use something like this in, something that maybe doesn't seem like the most exciting in your collection, but I'm getting my use out of it and am probably, or at least hopefully, going to be using it completely up by the end of the year. And again, besides a brow gel, I think that will be the first time I've completely used up like a brow powder type of product. Let's move on to the lip liner. It is my Makeup Forever Aqua Lip in 3C. I did sharpen this a few times this month. I sharpened it a couple days ago. And so now, I think last month we were at like the UP of makeup for the lettering, and now we're on the F of Forever. So making good progress. I feel like I really had more intention in using this in the last month. I always keep this in my purse, and so I was trying to be better about reapplying it throughout the day at work, and I think that has helped, and it still performs really well despite how old this pencil is, and it's just a really nice neutral pink color. But this also shows me how long it takes to go through a pencil lip liner, and I think this is going to take me the rest of the year if I even am able to finish it by the end of the year. But really enjoying this. It's a great color, as I said, and we will just keep going with the lip liner. So the last product that I've been working on is my face powder from Maybelline. This is the really old packaging of the Better Skin powder, and I am going to roll this out finally and roll something new in. You will see there is a little bit left, but it is so little. This is like 2 uses. This is honestly like the color of it. It's too orange and too dark for me at this point. So I'm just gonna use it the 1 or 2 more times to get the rest of it off that little corner, and then we're calling it good. So instead of keeping it in for a whole other month, I just thought that was kind of silly and a waste. So we're going to roll this out and replace it with something else. I'm really excited to be done with this. I didn't hate this powder, but it was really old and I could tell. I had repressed it a few times, and this isn't even this packaging that they use anymore. They've reformulated and repackaged. Plus, now in my collection, I have 1 pressed powder and 1 loose powder, and I'm super excited about that because I don't use powder often. I go through phases where I use it and I don't use it, and even when I am using it, a lot of times I'm just using it to set my under eye, maybe my T-zone. So I'm glad to be able to move this out of my collection and focus on the 2 other powders that I have. And then once my no-buy is up at the end of September, I think I might go purchase that Kosas Cloud Set powder that I have been obsessed with since I used it the last time I had it. So exciting to have a rollout in this month, finally. I feel like it was a couple months going there where nothing had been rolled out. So now I'm going to replace it with one of the items from my Planning to Pan list, which I talked about in a few videos ago when I gave an update. And so the item that I chose is this L'Oreal lipstick, Le Lacquer. I don't even know if they make these anymore. I'm gonna have to look that up. I feel like I say that every time and I can't remember. I'm not sure what shade this is, but it's definitely a cooler toned pink. And I thought this would be good to roll in because I know that this is one of the lipstick products I have that I can also use as a blush. And actually I am wearing it today as a cream blush. So that always helps me be able to use up product faster when you can use it in multiple ways, which I like doing. Plus, I do feel like there is quite a bit left on here, which I did not anticipate. I thought there was like way less in here originally when I pulled this into the project because of how long I've had this, but I'm glad that I'm going to be able to do this in like a multi-purpose way. So that is where we're starting out, and hopefully this will be out by the end of the year, if not sooner. I did have a couple of lip products left on my planning to pan list, and so it was definitely time to roll one of those in, and so that is why I chose this lipstick. So that is everything for this project pan update for the month of August. These are always short and sweet, but that's how I like them. Please leave a comment below letting me know if you have any predictions of when I will use up these current products, or if you're project panning and how that is going. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified of all of my upcoming videos. I'm very excited for the next few that I have coming because it is turning into fall, even though the temperature is not reflecting that necessarily outside, but inside we are feeling that and we are ready for the fall vibes. So I'm ready to switch out some of my everyday makeup and my everyday drawer. I'm excited to wear more sweatshirts and sweaters. I'm excited for pumpkin things. So we are just gonna start down that path with the next few videos. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.